This is TWiT. Let's go. Google has come up with an interesting idea. Okay, it can't decide whether to do the earbuds or the blimp. We'll start.
This is good technology. This is sweet technology.
I think we should just all go back to blimps, generally. I think that's really smart.
I agree, and so does Sergey Brin. He got FAA approval for his initial flights of his airship, the Pathfinder 1. This is actually a 40% scaled-down model of the actual Pathfinder. To reassure you, it is a helium-filled blimp, not hydrogen. The Pathfinder 1 is 124 meters long. If you live in our area, if you live in Silicon Valley, you'll be able to see it. Just drive around in Mountain View because he's using one of the old airship hangars in Moffett Field. You know those giant hangars? If you ever drive down 101, you see them. And he's rented it, and that's where they have constructed the Pathfinder 1. The FAA says you can fly it within the boundaries of Moffett Field and neighboring Palo Alto's airport spaces at a height of up to 1,500 feet, which means basically they can go out.
Low.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, they don't want to get in the way of air traffic.
Right.
But it can go out to San Francisco Bay. It just won't, because there's an airport there right there in San Jose.
What does one use a blimp for then?
Well,
just to hang out?
I'm glad you asked.
Cargo. There have been a lot of businesses. There was one big one that started in Germany, Cargo Lift, that was trying to imagine the blimp is able to move very large cargo pieces.
Yes.
At a very
Is that
low
what Sergey
cost.
Brin is using it
Yes.
for?
Well,
cargo?
The
in
gondola
the San Francisco Bay?
for the airship that they're using can accommodate 14 people. So it's not exactly a passenger vessel, but as I said, it's smaller than the original. I mean, the one there, the Pathfinder 3, which is 180 meters long. But eventually, here's what the story in the IEEE Spectrum magazine says. Ultimately, LTA, that's the name of the company, intends its aircraft to be used for humanitarian missions, deploying cargo and personnel to areas that are inaccessible by road. Brin funds a separate nonprofit called Global Support and Development that's already carried out such missions by sea in the Caribbean, Latin America, and South Pacific. Brin formed GSD after using his own yacht to ferry medical personnel to the scene of a cyclone in South Pacific. Get on the yacht, boys. We're going to the cyclone. The nonprofit has since used other vessels in partnership with the Yacht Aid Global. Yachts to the rescue to respond to hurricanes and other disasters. Hey, if you've got a yacht, you might as well use it. GSD also recently launched...
That's how we got the Brits out of Europe.
Yachts? Oh, yeah, Dunkirk.
Yes.
You're talking about Dunkirk.
Right, Dunkirk.
They weren't exactly yachts. They were more like little fishing vessels. But okay.
Fishing boats, but...
GSD also launched a purpose-built vessel capable of transporting dozens of medical staff in full-size shipping containers. The MV motor vessel Dawn carries its own watercraft and vehicles. This is what happens when you have an infinite amount of money. You read a lot of sci-fi. You got some free time. Yeah. But in a way, where else is this crazy innovation going to come from?
The crazy innovation of blimps.
Blimps? I think this is a great idea.
People hadn't been thinking of those clearly before Sergey Brin.
Well, okay.
His money's going to a great use.
Humanity. Humanity.
I know, and of course, immediately on Reddit, everybody's talking about the Hindenburg. This isn't the Hindenburg.
I'm sorry, are you coming to the defense of blimps?
Yes.
Leo?
I am on the side of blimps for good. BFG.
I rode on the Goodyear blimp.
Did you? It's quite noisy. I hear.
Yes, it is. My great uncle worked on the Goodyear blimp.
Oh, that's fun.
I've always wanted to go.
What does one do on the Goodyear blimp?
He was a mechanic on it.
You just fly around. It's more like a big billboard.
It's advertising. It's a billboard now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's also a sports camera.
Well, yeah. I mean, in its role as a advertisement for Goodyear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
This is a lot bigger than that. This is an airship. There is sci-fi. Was it Neil Gaiman? No, it was Neil Stevenson. In his book Terminal Shock. Had the millionaires rode around in blimps. Yes, it was slower, but it was much more luxurious. That's how and it was, by the way, eco-friendly.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's also Kim Stanley Robinson, who wrote Ministry of the Future.
Yeah.
In the future, it's all going to be blimps.
Ministry of the Future. Have you read that?
I have, yes.
I'm hesitant because it's about how we will deal with climate change, and I felt like it might be a little depressing.
It's kind of dark. In the beginning, at least.
At the beginning. But eventually, blimps.
Yeah, it's basically the solution for air travel.
Yeah.
What's interesting is it'll be able to do VTOL.
Vertical
blimp
takeoff
has
and landing.
Slow up
That's
and
right.
down. This can go up straight up and down, which is a big deal. 120 kilometers per hour max speed.
Yeah, it's not a jet, but that's not slow. It's faster than you could drive. Take you 2 days to get across the country.
It'd be a nice 2 days.
But it'd be a nice 2
pretty nice.
days. I'd take the train if I could. Termination shock. Thank you. That's the name of the book. Wouldn't it be nice to take the train?
It would be lovely to just do a cross country. I mean, you can kind of piece parts of it together, but Amtrak and
when
the
I was
US
a kid
is quite
in
sad.
1971, when we moved to California, we flew to Chicago, but then took the train from Chicago to Oakland, and it was wonderful. We had
How long does
a
that
sleeper.
take?
It was about 2.5 days, 3 days.
Yeah,
Stops a lot. We had our dog with us, so we would stop in Wyoming, and you'd get out and you'd walk the dog. You get to, look around and then get back on the train. It was a wonderful trip. I'll never forget it.
My mother was frightened of flying, so when we went to Disneyland the first time, we took the train out.
Nice.
And on the way back, she said, "Screw it, we're flying."
It is lengthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the longest time, I had the dream of taking the Trans-Siberian Railway all the way across. But obviously that's not going to happen anymore, or at least not in the foreseeable future. But it seems so fantastic.
There is a similar ride across Canada that I have been dying to do that's supposed to be wonderful.
I want to do that too.
Yeah.
Leo,
Via.
I've got it.
Should we do our
Screw
shows
this.
from it?
Yes. Instead of this cruise crap,
Yeah,
Let's do the
I'll come
train.
on a train.
the TWiT train. Woot, woot.
Choo choo.
This
Yeah,
is
Leo's going to have a little conductor's hat on. I like this.
You can attach the microphones to your train car.
yeah.
Very cute.
Canadian train vacations. You can ride via and look at this. It's beautiful. We could do the show right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
true.
Yeah. Leo, I'm telling you.
And in the background, you hear chugga 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 chugga.
I took a train across Norway this last year.
I've
It
done
was
that.
Phenomenal.
I've done that through Bergen, right? To
Oh.
Oslo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Oslo to Bergen, it was
Yeah.
the most beautiful train ride I've ever been on.
How
Yeah.
long did that take, Paris?
It's a day.
I don't know, like half a day?
Yeah. It was
wasn't
like
that
8
long.
hours. But you go through the land of Hoth. Did you know that? Did you know that?
Hoth.
So after you leave Bergen, you're going through. We were there in the
Yeah.
winter. It's very snowy, and that's where they shot. Which episode? I can't remember.
Empire.
Empire Strikes Back. The land of Hoth is a snowy land,
Oh.
and they shot that there. So you go through it. Pretty exciting.
Ooh.
I didn't see any AT-ATs, but
I really want to go back in the winter.
it's
I
beautiful.
went in
My wife
September.
was less than happy with it.
Pretty cold.
We were going from Kristiansand, which is all on the west coast, back to Oslo so we could come home. We were there for a photographic kind of event, and we were invited to speak and so forth. And we went, thanks to Mikkel Olin, my good friend, with Catherine Hall, the photographer. And we were on the East Coast, so we took the Hurtigruten from Kristiansand to Bergen. The Hurtigruten it's not exactly a cruise ship. It goes in all the fjords. It's a boat. It is a boat, and it goes it's overnight. You have a little cabin. So we took the Hurtigruten, which I'd always wanted to go on.
Did you see the Northern Lights?
Did not. It was not that time of year. But unfortunately, Lisa got very sick. Didn't enjoy it.
No.
And then,
See, you wouldn't do that on a train.
but then we got off the Hurtigruten in Bergen and got on the train to Oslo. and it's another 8 hours, and she was just miserable the whole time. It took us 2 days to get from Kristiansand to Oslo, and she said we could have flown. We'd been there for 2 days. We could have gone to some parties, but no, you had to go on the Hurtigruten and the railroad.
Lisa, I want to hear it, but the Canadian railroad.
She's open to that. Nice. She's open to that. Yeah.
I'm telling you, has any other podcast been done from the rails?
I'm all in. We're going to have to get a lot more members in Club TWiT.
Oh, yeah.
Like right now.
Well, I'll pay my way.
Guys, subscribe to Club TWiT so that we can podcast from a train.
On a nice vacation. Yeah.
All in is $7. Your $7 a month would allow us to do this show on a train.
The Canadian Hurtigruten.
And here is the advertisement for our Club TWiT. All aboard, ride the TWiT train rails with Leo and Paris and Jeff. And I guess Ant will have to go.
Ant can be there.
We have to ask Ant.
Yeah, Ant's opted in.
Yeah, he doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, you can't do this with TWiT or Windows Weekly or anybody else because it's our idea. We have proprietary interest in this.
And also the other shows, Google, you can make a cute little icon for it, and the O's in Google could be the train car wheels. And you can't do that with any of the other shows.
Oh, that's right. That's
actually funny thing you should mention that, because in the early days of Google, I'm thinking it was, 2008. 2005. It was a long time ago. I went to an event. Sergey and Larry were there, and the PR people handled us all Brio trains that spelled Google.
Oh, yeah. You have that, don't you still?
I thought I did. I was looking for it the other day.
Somewhere. Yeah.
I might have let the kids play with it, and they probably ate it.
Come join us on This Week in Enterprise Tech. Expert co-host and I talk about the enterprise world, and we're joined by industry professionals and trailblazers like CEOs, CIOs, CTOs, CISOs, every acronym role, plus IT pros and marketeers. We talk about technology, software plus services, security, you name it, everything under the sun. You know what? I learn something each and every week, and I bet you will too. So definitely join us. And of course, check out the TWiT.tv website and click on This Week in Enterprise Tech. Subscribe today.